Hello, the Revised Shadow here, and welcome back to another video. So I'm back at Subnautica, and well, little while ago I released a video that showed all the new Aurora rooms and all of that good stuff, but now I'm going to go through all the other features that were added around that time. Before then, well, pretty much since my last update video. But yeah, there's quite a few things to go through, but yeah, I had actually recorded this video, and then OBS kind of mucked up, and bad things happened. Pretty much I lost the file, so yeah, that kind of sucks. So this is the second time I'm recording this. But anyway, let's just get right into it. So there's still being changes to the Exosuit, and some of them are pretty cool. We've got the fabricator. They've now sorted this into common modules, which can be used in both the Seamoth and the Exosuit. And we've got the Seamoth and Exosuit modules. Yeah, the thermal reactor module does actually work now, and they are working on getting temperature to work in the lava zone properly. So if you're like standing on top of molten lava, it doesn't say it's like 5 degrees Celsius or something ridiculous like that. So yeah, that should work, and you can charge your Exosuit that way. Yeah, there's a few interesting things. The animation kind of works, and it docks properly, and you can recolor it and everything. I think I showed that before in one of my previous videos. Okay, now it's glitching out. I swear it was working perfectly before, but yeah, you can recolor it, and it looks nice, and that's great. I would just make mine black and blue and orange. I don't know why, it just kind of looks nice, I guess. But yeah, let's see if the animation... Okay, there we go. Now it looks right. And I'll redock it for you. If I can... Let me... There we go. That's the proper animation. So yeah. We're just gonna go out and do some things. Well, I am in the mountains biome, and there has been a big change to that biome, which I'll get into in a moment. I'll just go through all the Exosuit stuff. There has been a few sound changes and stuff, like these sound different. Also, the footsteps sounds kind of weird at the moment. I'm guessing that'll be fixed, but yeah, other than that, the Exosuit is pretty much done. So yeah, I'm going to show you some of the upgrades, because the drill now has a function. You may notice all of these giant outcrops of quartz and other minerals and stuff like that. I'll show you some more of those in a bit. But yeah, they're pretty much everywhere, and they look a little bit ugly. They're just the other model of the normal resource stuck together. So they look a little bit ugly in certain biomes. I don't know what's going on with all that flickering. That's kind of weird, and it seems to be lagging the game out a bit. So that's a little bit irritating. But yeah, they look a little bit ugly. I kind of hope they'll change them to like proper veins of ore that blend in with the rock properly. But yeah, oh well, it doesn't really matter that much. But they're also a bit too common. Like they're just as common as the regular resources. They should be somewhat rare. So yeah. But anyway, the way you use this is if you get your drill. I'll also get a grappling hook in just to show you how that works now. The grappling hook, it has a proper texture on the hook itself, and it looks really nice. It pretty much works perfectly now. Like, it used to kind of glitch out when you try to shoot sometimes, but now it works pretty much every time. I do apologize for this lag. It's experimental mode. You get all sorts of weird glitches and stuff, but yeah, the grappling hook feels pretty nice, works every time, and yeah, it's pretty much done. But the drill, if I go over to one of these large deposits, you can start drilling these, and they will slowly spew out whatever that resource is. That they will... Oh, hello. Please die. I'm pretty sure he's ripped to shreds. But yeah, you can mine through these things, and they will give you a bunch of that resource. Like, by a bunch I mean a lot. Like, that's a lot of diamond. And by the way, this is actually diamond set of cores that use the same texture, so I'm assuming these are just placeholders. But yeah, you can get a lot of resources this way. Definitely makes the Exosuit worth having, if it wasn't already. But yeah, you can get plenty of minerals, and yeah, that's pretty cool. And the exosuit can now destroy limestone deposits and other deposits, so that's nice. It was kind of weird before how it wouldn't do that. And by the way, gold and copper now have new textures. They don't just look like little hunks of rock. They now look like better hunks of rock, I guess. But yeah, that looks nice. There are also new pickup sounds. Not for those ones. There are a lot of changes to the what do you call it? Voice log thing. There's a lot of new entries and stuff. But a lot of those have to do with the radio, which I'll get into. And there aren't, yeah, as I said, there's lots of new sounds. I'm not really getting any of those right now. They're just, yeah, there's a lot of new pickup sounds. So, well, there's an interesting one for the uranium night. Well, you can see it actually has a little crackle. But if I just go to the shallows, just let that load in. You can see there are new sounds for picking like quartz up. Has a little clink, and yeah. So that works. It's nice. So yeah, it's just a small little thing. Yeah. Moving on. Anyway, back to the exosuit. I'm just going to show you the torpedo launcher.
Welcome aboard,
Well, that pretty much, oops, yep, pretty much needs to put torpedoes. So, yeah, it's not quite colored right. You can see it's white instead of black, which I recolored to do. But yeah, that works. Kind of just shoots torpedoes as you'd expect, and you can go outside and reload it in the same way you would with the Seamoth. So yeah, it's pretty nice. So yeah, that's how that works. Anyway, that's about everything to do with the exosuit. Again, as I said, the thermoreactor does work now. So I've just come over to the grassy biome to show you some of these mineral deposits. You can see there's a titanium one, and there's a copper one, I think. I don't know. It's something. Those are all around the place. I'll just show you the new copper texture. There you go. And dashboard looks like pretty much like the gold. But slightly less shiny. Also, there are a lot of new lifepods, and the radio now gives signals, and this is one of them. So you can see it's actually a Seamoth fragment, and there's sometimes other loot in them, like mostly fragments, but I have found like flashlight and stuff like that in them, and there are these PDAs, which all of the PDAs now have this little light, and they have a sound, and it's pretty nice. So yeah, that'll go through, and there's a lot of new databank entries. I've actually changed a lot of the PDA entries for the abandoned bases, and for the Aurora, which I showed you a little while ago. There's changed them again, so yeah. Anyway, I'll go show you how some of the new radio things. Let me just walk myself back. There we go. Yeah. My base isn't great. I had a really big and awesome base up on the island in the video that I lost. So that was kind of sad that I lost that recording. And you know, experimental keeps getting updated. Kind of want to keep making saves, otherwise things bug out. So I couldn't be bothered to make a giant, massive, awesome base again. So that kind of sucks. But oh well. Oh well. Here's the radio, and that's not really what we need, but yeah, you can see that you can now get signals from them once that gibberish goes away. So you get these lifepod coordinates, and you get a signal from here, and those will lead you to some of the lifepods. You can see there's one over there, and you can get loot from them, and that's kind of how beginner's progression will go. So yeah, there's another one. The signal. Yeah, that's kind of how that works. And you can go to a lot of different life pods, and yeah, I assume they're gonna have some going to abandoned bases. You can see the one that I went to before was right next to a wreck, so they're probably gonna lead you to some pretty important locations. Anyway, the fabricator now functions slightly differently. Now most of the resources are the same. You can just like titanium. You can see it actually has a little progression bar, and that's because if you want to craft something like, say, I don't know, a sea glide, it will now take quite a while to actually craft it. But yeah, we'll just wait for this sea glide to craft. They do take quite a while, some things like the sea glide, so I'll speed that up. What are we at? 37, 50%. So we're at 80%, and the same goes for the modification station. So I wanted an air tank. It would slowly craft that. Different things take different amounts of time to craft. As you can see, yeah, picked it up. Sometimes, usually it doesn't automatically pick it up for you. Like, well, we'll see with the sea glide, but sometimes you have to actually manually go and pick them up. So 98%, and it's done. And some things that take longer, it tells you, gives you a notification telling you that hey, your thing's finished crafting. So yeah, now I can go pick this up, and I now have a sea glide. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, totally forgot, but the main reason I'm here is because of the mountains biome. Now you may remember the mountains biome only had one peak. Now it has two peaks, so they pretty much added an entire chunk to it. So if you didn't know, there is going to be a precursor base on this island. And you can see there's a bit of a terraformed area here. Now I didn't do that, so that's one of the... So that's a little weird, but if you go down here, I believe, yeah, right here, you can see the lighting changes, and it says the player biome is the Emperor facility. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a precursor base here, and supposedly this is also where the gun is going to be. Yeah, spoiler stuff. That pretty much the Aurora got shot down by some gun, and yeah, we don't know much more, but yeah, precursor base is going to be here, and I assume this is where like a bit of it will jut out, and yeah, that bit down there doesn't exactly look natural either, so I'm assuming this is going to be where part of it is, but yeah, can't wait till that's added. Anyway, we're coming up on one of the cave entrances. So that main cave that goes down into that underwater cave is still there, and that's pretty much the same, but up here, this is pretty different. There's like this cave's pretty awesome, actually. There's not a lot to see, it's just kind of there, but it's pretty awesome. And there's a lot of massive salt deposits. Not sure why you'd have an exosuit in here, but sure, whatever. Yeah, they do look a little ugly, and they're kind of common, but yeah, oh well. So yeah, there's lots of little alcoves which you can come out, and it's pretty nice. Again, there's not a lot to see, but this is where the precursor base is going to be, so I assume there will be. And yeah, there's like a little bit going out here, and you can climb up into this bit here, which is also new. There's another cave. High-pitched cave crawlers, yeah, still a thing. I kind of wish they would fix that. It's kind of irritating. But yeah, there's a little bit up here. Yeah, you can see the other peak there. I'm just gonna go into free cam. Oh, and by the way, sprinting is a thing now. I mentioned that in my previous video, but yeah, that's a thing. So anyway, free cam. Yeah. There's an aerial view of the new island. There used to be these pillars coming out of the water, and this island has completely replaced that. I kind of like those little pillars. They were kind of interesting, but oh well. This entire section of the island, yeah, much better. There's all of these little alcoves, like just this little bit here. It's really interesting. Like, yeah, you could just find this and be like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, lots of cool places to make a base, and yeah, it's pretty cool. There's another bit over here. So yeah, and if you want to know what the cave system's like, well, it's pretty massive. Like, yeah, it's just everywhere inside the island. Like, you can just go through forever, and it's like you can get lost a lot. So yeah, that's there. Yeah. And there's the other cave that was there before. This is the same, but yeah. So in the Lost River, it's well, it's now green, very green. I assume they're gonna give this a proper texture soon, but yeah, the bile is now everywhere, not just on the tree cove. So yeah, it's everywhere, and you can see it's over there in that tunnel, and it looks kind of weird. They've done the waterfalls, the underwater falls. Yeah. So yeah. So you probably saw this in one of my previous videos, but there are now variants of the boomerang and eye in the lava biome. So these guys are here. If I can. And the lava eye, as I said before, looks like Sauron, so yeah. We're gonna go and cook these guys though. We're gonna cook Sauron and have him for dinner. Because you can do that. Here we go. I'll just switch to survival. And yeah, we'll go cook this guy. Sustenance. Cooked food. Yeah, so you can cook the lava eye and lava boomerang. So yeah, there you go. And then you can go and eat them. I don't know how you get H2O from them, because they are kind of like made of lava, but sure, whatever. Yeah, you can eat them. And shut up. So yeah, lots of lifepod signals, and I assume more things in the future. So I've just gone to the Aurora to show you that the doors now have sounds and work properly. So there's 1, 4, 5, 4. Yep, and that's unlocked. So yeah, that's nice. There's also been a few changes to PDAs. Some of them have been removed and changed completely. But yeah, and as I showed you before, the PDAs now have sounds, and they show you in your log the message as you get it. So yeah, that's nice. There's also a lot of other interesting things, like a propulsion cannon fragment right next to this pile of rubble, which you're meant to use the propulsion cannon to get rid of. So yeah, and it has a proper model now, as well as a lot of other fragments. I believe they've had them in, but we've known for a while that there are these damaged models for a lot of the technology. So yeah. Now the sea dragon will actually attack the Cyclops, and by attack I just mean throw around. So let's quickly get in here.
Welcome aboard, Captain. All systems online.
Alright, let's turn the lights off, be super sneaky and stuff. Can you do it now? You just did it before. Yeah, he pretty much throws it around. It doesn't deal any actual damage, but it is pretty terrifying. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you're not completely immune if you take your Cyclops into the lava zone thinking, oh, I'll be fine. Oh, he just hit my base. Whoa. It's now flooding. I am in the sky. Help. He just threw me up onto the island. Wow. Yeah. That happens. And at a deeper point, you'll probably be at crush depth and take some damage from that. And the Reaper Leviathan will actually attack this Exosuit now, in the same way it does with the Sea Moth. So that's terrifying. Hello. There we go. He's destroying that now. It doesn't actually deal that much damage to it, because the Exosuit has a lot of health, but still, at least it interacts with it now. Anyway, that's just about everything that's been added to Experimental lately. Some pretty cool stuff, gotta say, and the Exosuit update should be coming into the main branch pretty soon. Yeah, the Exosuit pretty much works perfectly now, except for a few minor things like the footstep sound repeating a lot, and stuff like that. Anyway, I guess the patch is going to be pretty big. because it's got the aurora, it's got a lot of things. So yeah, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Goodbye, as we enter the aurora.